Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. I know you are too because you're here with us.
That's right.
And we're talking about integrators versus dreamers.
Yes, or visionaries.
I'm definitely what you call a visionary.
I am.
I've always called it a dreamer.
I'm definitely a dreamer visionary myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also good at logistics though. But the problem lies in me thinking having these big grand ideas. And then having to fill in the spaces on how it gets done with integrators.
So, okay, when we talk about integrators and dreamers, I often talk about right brain and left brain.
Okay.
And I feel like the right brain is the creative side, the intangible side. It is the one that often gets emotional, whereas the left brain can...
Analytical.
Yes, the left brain can really focus in on numbers and kind of, these are the strategic steps.
This is my strategy. This is my plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is whenever Jason and I have any kind of meeting with a business consultant or a brand consultant or anything that has to do with our business, they perceive you to be the integrator, the left brainer, the logistical one, the strategic one, and they perceive
Jason will
me,
show you how to do it.
They perceive me to be
the
almost
creator,
the
visionary, the creator,
and almost the flighty one that has all these ideas. I mean, there's positives to it, but there's also a negative connotation as well. And they kind of put me in this category of, well, Jana is the dreamer here, and Jason is the one that is integrating and making it happen.
And see, I picture us kind of being the this is going to sound just egotistical, but the best of both.
Okay.
In a sense, because and I got to be better when we got together, because
and likewise.
Yeah, but dealing with a disability and travel or activities, immediately I think of all the things that may or may not happen. And then if we want to have a successful outcome, what does the path look like to have a successful outcome?
So you've learned how to be more strategic and more logistical. And also, I mean, some of your jobs that you've had, I remember when you were managing Renterprise in a car.
Because we don't want to give them any, they haven't actually paid for advertisement yet. So Renterprise in a car is perfect.
Okay. So Jason used to work for Renterprise in a car, and you had to become very logistic as far as, okay, this car's here and who can pick it up and who can rent it out.
Like
and
30 drivers, 9
employees,
or 9 team members.
Who's going to be washing these cars? Like you had to do a lot of...
Who picks up a customer, who picks up a car, all these things.
Yeah, there was a lot of moving the dominoes.
There was a lot of moving parts. Let's organize it, let's put it together, and let's make it run smoothly so that everyone has a great experience.
Yes, so you weren't really... I mean, you learned to do that instead of saying, well, let's talk about our dreams and goals.
Yeah, but I also learned to do that from like a 90,000 foot perspective. So instead of being in it, I was able to orchestrate it. And that's kind of, to me, what a dreamer can do once they get very clear on the dream.
Okay, so, and I guess my point of that whole thing is that people perceive us one way, but inside our relationship, we know that it goes both ways.
Yeah, and I would go off the tracks.
And I don't mean that in a naughty sense.
Hello. Yeah, I feel like when you're gone, or when you're away from home, things fall off the tracks.
Okay,
right?
Thank you, I guess.
And when I'm gone, you don't eat.
That is true. And Jason is getting ready to leave on a trip, and so we've been stocking the fridge for the last
with
3 hours.
Pre-made, prepared meals.
Yes,
I'm integrating.
We've been cooking.
I'm integrating the meal plan.
Thank you for that. The reason we started talking about integrators and dreamers is because I made the comment today that dreamers, who are usually very artsy and creative people, they have a hard time. They have like a bigger
Success curve.
a bigger curve, because it feels sometimes like society trains us to be integrators. Society wants tangible results.
So I believe,
And when you say, "Oh, I've been planting seeds of inspiration everywhere I go," some people are like, "But you have to pay your bills."
right.
And
I've been
you have to
creating
manage
art
your
everywhere I go.
time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I've been spending an hour and a half in my meditations every day. So I've been consistent. Well, what is that? How is that getting you to where you want to go?
We'll see. And I think, like, for me, when I visualize this whole thing, I picture every little 4, 5, and 6-year-old daydreaming, envisioning what their life or what tomorrow is going to be like, or the weekend, like having these dreams. And then being yanked back into the classroom, yanked back into the process of training.
Yes.
Like the training to be an integrator. Like you have to learn this out. You have to learn these math equations. You have to learn the sentence structure. You have to, like, all these things that get out of your dream world and get into reality. And so the translation is reality is integration.
Which you need both.
You do.
need both. I mean,
if everybody sat around dreaming all day and nothing would ever get done, right?
However, you look back at some of the greats, the Einsteins and yes, they put action to their dreams. But they have these
They also had teams.
grand ideas.
So we don't talk about their teams, like the people that were around Einstein, the people that were around Edison in the room when the light bulb came on. We don't talk about all that.
The truth is, if you look at the greats, if you look at the legends, the trailblazers, the people who have really impacted the world, they are visionaries. And that doesn't mean that they don't put action behind their ideas. But
True.
They are visionaries. And there is a steeper learning curve to get to where they want to go. But once they break through, they go higher.
Yeah, and when you said the game changers, the people that have actually had the biggest impact on the world, they kind of stuck to their dream and weren't dissuaded by the outside world pulling them back into, no, things have to be this way. Things have to be this way.
They start out as dreamers, but they learn to connect the integration with their dream.
It's adapting. And that's what
Whereas the ones that don't make a difference are the ones that give up on their dreams.
Yeah.
They're visionaries, and it starts becoming too hard. They start failing. They start thinking that society only values the people who can
put it together. Not put it together. That's kind of a
give output that provides tangible results.
The curve to whatever you want to call it. It's not a learning curve, but it's a curve of resistance, I think.
It is. It's perseverance, resilience. They have to break through this. It's almost an invisible ceiling. An invisible wall. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
Or am I just imagining this?
Everything that we have right now almost was impossible at one time. And it was a dreamer that brought down a visionary that brought down the wall between what's possible and what's impossible and said, I think that can be possible. I don't know how, but I believe, like, I envision this and I see it working in my head. Now I'm just going to start taking the steps. And it is that kind of working through the failure, quote unquote failure, and recognizing
failure
that it's
is
just
only feedback. Yes.
Yeah. And so I've learned now 99,000 ways this doesn't work. Will I quit now, or will I try that one more time?
So good.
But yeah, we need visionaries to kind of propel us forward. We need integrators to kind of do the day-to-day and to help push in the pieces. when we are missing a piece, or when we don't have time to do the pieces because we're busy creating the bigger vision.
Yeah, so yes, we're saying that we need both. Let me ask you this. Do you feel sometimes that the really, really strong integrators sometimes try to communicate with the visionaries and there's a disconnect?
Yes.
They don't quite understand each other sometimes.
Yeah. And we deal with this just in our own business, like talking to someone that's kind of integrated and built the business, and they built it from the ground up. And then we have this plan of something that's a little bit different and a little bit more, I don't want to say grandiose, but it's pretty big. And we're like, this is what we're viewing. They're like, no, you can't do it that way. You have to do it this way. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm not on the exact same path as you. I'm going a little bit direction, and just that trying to communicate the two. And yes,
which we have to listen and
yes,
learn.
anding each other and saying, yes, I believe this can work.
But it's learning to work together.
And it's huddling up and saying, hey, this is where I'm hitting a little roadblock or hitting a little resistance. How do we need to work around this? And then the dreamer can help the integrator can help the dreamer.
It becomes a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff today. All right. Well, that's where we're at. And I hope this helps someone out there. I hope it just makes you think a little differently.
Yeah. Are you an innovator or are you a visionary? Because we're looking for a couple integrators right now. Just send us an email.
We're always looking for integrators to help us out. Have a great day and enjoy. Good luck. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.